Sawasdee krap and welcome to another Thailand News Today, one more day in the week. Now, before we get started today, I just wanted to address a few of the comments that followed our video yesterday of Thailand News Today. There was a story about the first batch of tourists coming into Thailand under the special tourist visa and going to Phuket. Now, as it happened, they were 130 to 150 tourists who are coming to Phuket on October the 8th. And they're coming from Guangzhou in southern China. Now, the amount of invective and racism that came out from some of the comments was very surprising. And we have no hesitation in deleting a lot of these comments. Now, a lot of them were just simply inaccurate. The fact that the Chinese are coming to Phuket, this group of Chinese, is simply because they were the first to apply for the visa, the new special tourist visa. Now, the other comments relating to the Chinese Communist Party and what happened in the early days of COVID-19 and this blame of the Chinese was also extremely strong. Now, it's well understood that the early days of COVID-19 very probably started in the heart of Wuhan in China, and that there may have been some misunderstanding, some miscommunication, even a bit of tinkering with information from some politicians in the Chinese Communist Party. But to blame 1.4 billion Chinese for what happened in those early days in Wuhan is simply absurd and borders on pure racism. Those comments don't represent the tiger, this company, or most of the people that watch this channel, and we'll have no hesitation in deleting those sorts of comments in the future. Anyway, let's get down to today's news. Beaches and national parks may not become available to tourists in Thailand until a vaccine is found. This comment from the Tourism Council of Thailand. Up to 150 tourists departing from China are set to arrive in Phuket on October the 8th after a 6-month ban on international tourists. They'll have to go through a 14-day state quarantine, but after that they may not be able to enjoy some of the island's beaches. A report from Bloomberg says it's unlikely beaches and parks will fully open to overseas travellers until a vaccine becomes available. At this stage, there are still many questions about a successful vaccine either becoming available or the efficacy of such a vaccine even when it is. Then there are questions about whether getting a vaccine will become a condition of travel to Thailand or even internationally. For the time being, only tourists on select charter flights with a 90-day special tourist visa can enter the country. The head of the Tourism Council of Thailand said it's good for the country to reopen, even if it's just for a trial. Once we've tested our reopening plan for a month, we can assess how to go forward and to allow more visitors to come in. Thailand's dominant working expat nationality has been the Japanese at around 18% of the expat community. That dominance is about to change. While Japanese expatriate numbers are decreasing, a CBRE report notes that Chinese and Filipino expats are on the rise in Thailand. There were 28,560 Japanese expats in Thailand as of the third quarter this year, just ahead of the Chinese expat contingent at 25,811. As China's manufacturing has shifted overseas and Filipino expatriates have increased in line with local demand for teachers fluent in English, there's been a continuing decentralisation of the expat communities living in Thailand. You can read more about the details of that report and the effects on the Thai property market at thetiger.com. Now, even more videos have come to light after a Nonthaburi teacher was caught on video last week abusing students at a kindergarten school. The video caught the teacher pushing a kindergarten student to the floor, pulling a student across the floor and repeatedly hitting other students. Now, more classroom videos of teachers allegedly abusing their students are becoming widely shared online, as well as photos of children's marks and injuries from the alleged abuse. Meanwhile, the main Thonburi school at the centre of the current allegations has agreed to pay compensation, including refunding school fees, paying medical costs and better screening and scrutiny of teaching staff. Now, you better sit down and be prepared for the shock of this next story. One of the contestants in Miss Universe Thailand has been kicked out of the competition. Chayatana Sauradat, also known as Chiram, is accused of allowing her manager and chaperone to infiltrate the organising committee. It's understood her manager, aka Ken, attended numerous committee meetings, potentially getting the inside scoop on what questions contestants might be asked and giving his client an advantage. Thailand still has a fascination for the beauty contest format, and there are hundreds of such contests conducted around the country every year. And a drug bust in Nonthaburi, just north of Bangkok, has netted 300 kilograms of marijuana valued at around 2 million baht. Anti-narcotics officers confiscated the haul yesterday when they apprehended 3 men in a department store car park. Thai Residents reports that dried marijuana usually fetches around 6,500 baht per kilo on the black market. It's understood the consignment was on its way to a Bangkok-based dealer when it was intercepted. Well, that's the news for Thailand News Today. I'll be coming to you from Phuket tomorrow. See if I can drag one of the cats into the video. I know you like to see a cat every now and then. In the meantime, please subscribe to the video. Much appreciated. And you can also get some alerts when we have a brand new Thailand News Today uploaded. But for now, thank you for watching today. We'll see you tomorrow.